So welcome to the video lecturing session on multi-rate signal processing. So in the entire course of multi-rate signal processing, only a sampling rate conversion part will be discussed now. So the objective of this sampling rate conversion part is, at the end of the session, student will be able to explain upsampling and downsampling operations. In addition to that, the student will be able to perform upsampling and downsampling operations for a given discrete time sequence. So next we move on to the lecturing session of the sampling rate conversion. Okay. So in a digital system, system will perform operations inside a discrete sequence. They are in different sampling rates. So we have to change the sampling rates frequently. Some cases we have to increase the sampling rate, some cases we have to reduce the sampling rate. Say for example, we take one system like our compact disc. So the compact disc, the sampling rate is 44.1 kilohertz. If you want to play the audio information available in compact disc by using movie or otherwise some other digital audio tape, there the sampling rate followed is 48 kilohertz. So we have to convert from 44.1 to 48 kilohertz. So for such cases we prefer this multi-rate operations. So here we are increasing the sampling rate from 44.1 kilohertz to 48 kilohertz. One more simple example is, suppose our original data is in a sampling rate of 100 kilohertz. So if sampling rate is 100 kilohertz, so what it indicates? So if we expand this 100 kilohertz, finally we are getting 1 lakh samples per second. 1 lakh samples per second. The system is going to process 1 lakh samples within a second. If I want to reduce the complexity of the system, what I can do? We can prefer this multi-rate system so that the sampling rate is reduced. So for such case, we prefer downsampling. So reducing the sampling rate from 100 kilohertz to 10 kilohertz. So if it is 10 kilohertz, then the sampling rate here is 10,000 samples per second. Earlier, the system processed 1 lakh samples within a second, but now only 10,000 samples it processes. So therefore, the complexity is reduced. So for such cases, multi-rate systems are preferred. So let us take a quick look about the sampling rate and the sampling mechanism performed on analog signals. So let us take a typical analog signal. So x-axis we have a time period t, then y-axis we are indicating a magnitude. So this is analog in nature. So we are going to convert this analog into a discrete, then finally it is encoded in a digital means. So in the analog to discrete conversion, we are using a sampling mechanism. So if it is sampling mechanism, we are considering sampling rates. So for sampling rates, we are using a parameter sampling frequency Fs. So for sampling rate, the relationship between Fs and the sampling time interval is 1 by Ts. So what the sampling will do? It will pick the samples over a periodic intervals. So now the signal is continuous, so that's why it is analog. If it is discrete, in the same signal, we are going to select the signal amplitudes only at a discrete time intervals. So that process is called sampling. Say for example, so at origin we are going to select the signal, then later here signal amplitude. So signal amplitude. So finally, the discrete version of the signal is now this is the discrete version of our original continuous time signal. So here, actually the original parameter for sampling is sampling rate, Fs. We know the relationship between Fs and Ts. So that Ts is available here. That time interval Ts is called as sampling time interval. So if sampling, suppose the original signal frequency is 10 kilohertz, then what about Ts value? So Ts equal to 1 divided by 10 into 10 power 3. So finally we are getting it as 0.1 milliseconds. So here Ts value is 0.1 milliseconds. So after digital conversion of the original signal, now the original sampling rate of the digital signal is 10 kilohertz. So if it is 10 kilohertz, it indicates, so within a second how many samples? So within a second 10,000 samples. So this is original sampling rate. Now by using our multi-rate signal processing, we are going to convert this sampling rate from 10 kilohertz to some other higher version, or from 10 kilohertz to some other lower version. So in multi-rate signal processing, we have only two broad classifications. So sampling rate conversion is the main process performed inside multi-rate signal processing. So for this sampling rate conversion, we have two mechanisms. One is decimation, then another one is interpolation. So if it is decimation, it will reduce the sampling rate. It will reduce the sampling rate by a factor of m. If it is interpolation, it will increase the sampling rate by a factor of L. So decimation is also called as a down conversion. Interpolation is also called as up conversion. So original frequencies here reduced, here original frequencies increased. So sampling frequency is reduced, sampling frequency is increased. But not only increasing the sampling frequency and reducing the sampling frequency, so these mechanisms will give certain effect to our original signals. So therefore, in certain cases we have to prefer digital filters to make this process as ideal. So first we consider the decimation process. So if it is decimation, we have our original signal x of n. So it is applied to a system. So that will down convert. Then finally we are getting output signal y of n. The relationship between the input x of n and output y of n is x of m n. So here m is the downsampling factor. So we have our example sequence n. So here 2, 1, 3, again 2, again 1, again 2. So let us consider a sample sequence like this. So this is input signal x of n. Now we are going to perform downsampling operation on the signal x of n. So the downsampling, say for example, consider a case m equal to 2. Downsampling by a factor of 2. So if it is downsampling by a factor of 2, so y of n equal to x of 2n. So if we substitute different values of time index variable small n, those different values are only integers because the signal is discrete in nature. So if we substitute different integer values instead of this small n, we are going to get the signal y of n. So what is the nature of y of n? So if n equal to 0, y of 0 equal to x of 0. So the signal original x of n signal is taken as it is. Next, if n equal to 1, y of 1 equal to x of 2. So here x of 2 value is 3. So at n equal to 1, we are getting the signal as 3. In the same way, if n equal to 2, we are getting y of 2 equal to x of 4. So x of 4 value is 1. Then x of 5, we can add one more sample here, 3 at 6. So if we take n equal to 3, so at y of 3, we are getting x of 6. So x of 6 value is again 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this is our downsampled signal. So initially we have 6 samples. Now we have only. So initially we have 7 samples. Now we have only 4 samples. So this is what downsampling. So therefore, if it is downsampling, we are removing few samples. So we are removing few samples. In the same way, if we take upsampling, so in upsampling, the sampling rate is increased by a factor of L. So we have original signal x of n. So after upsampling, we are going to get y of n equal to x of n divided by L. So instead of small n, we are going to substitute different integer values. So here also for the case we consider L equal to 2. So therefore upsampling by a factor of 2. So what about the output signal y of n? So we have n here time variable. So we have to substitute different values of n. First n equal to 0. If n equal to 0, y of 0 equal to x of 0. So what is x of 0 value? That is 2. So x of 0 value is 2. Next, if n equal to 1, so here we are getting y of n equal to x of n divided by 2. If n equal to 1, we are getting x of 1 by 2, so x of 0.5. If it is a discrete signal, at x of 0.5 we don't have any value, so therefore the value is 0. So if n equal to 1, we are getting x of 0.5, the value is 0. If n equal to 2, we are getting x of 1, so x of 1 value is 1. So x of 1 value is 1. If n equal to 3, again 0. If n equal to 4, we are getting x of 4 divided by 2, x of 2. So y of 4 equal to x of 2. So y of 4 equal to x of 2. So x of 2 value is 3. Then again y of 5 is 0. If it is y of 6, that is x of 3. So x of 3 value is 2. Then y of 6 is 0. So y of 5 is 0, y of 6 is x of 3, so x of 3 value is 2. Then y of 7 is 0, then y of 8 is x of 4, so x of 4 value is again 1. So this is up to sequence 8, but if it is up to 8, we covered up to 4 only, but it will go up to 12. Up to y of 12, it is possible to plot the signal. So now if we compare original signal and upsampled signal, so in the original signal we have only 7 samples, but in the upsampled signal we have more than 7 samples. So it means that we are adding few dummy samples. So those added samples are zeros. Between each sample of the original signal, we are adding zeros. Here the sampling rate conversion factor is considered as 2. That's why we are adding only 1 zero. If L value is considered as 4, we have to add 3 zeros. So always we have to add L minus 1 zeros between each samples. If it is up conversion. If it is down conversion, we have to remove M minus 1 samples between each samples. So this is the consolidation of upsampling and downsampling. So what happened in upsampling? We are adding few zeros. If we add few zeros, what happened? The original information is little bit modified. So that will give finally certain kind of effect to our original signal. In the same way, if we consider downsampling, we are removing some of the samples. If we remove some of the samples, what happened? The original quality is going to get spoiled. But at the end, we have to get a quality that is much similar to our original signal. So therefore, in addition to this upsampling and downsampling, we are considering few additional filters. So such filters are anti-aliasing filter and anti-imaging filter. So for downsampling, before downsampling we have to use anti-aliasing filter, then after upsampling we have to use anti-imaging filter. So we will discuss this filter concept in the next video lecturing sessions. Okay, so for this upsampling and downsampling, now we consider a small sampling time interval substitution. Say for example, initially the original x of n sampling rate Fs is 100 kilohertz. The sampling rate of original signal x of n is 100 kilohertz. If it is 100 kilohertz, what about Ts value? So Ts equal to 1 divided by 0 points, or for simplicity we take it as 10 kilohertz. If it is 10 kilohertz, okay. The original signal sampling rate is 10 kilohertz. So if it is 10 kilohertz, 1 divided by 10 kilohertz. So finally we are getting 0.1 milliseconds. So therefore this interval is 0.1 milliseconds. Okay. Now we are downsampling the signal by a factor of 2. If it is downsampled, what about frequency? Downsampled frequency. So yes, now after downsampling is 10 divided by 2. So this is equal to 5 kilohertz. So if it is 5 kilohertz, what about time period? Ts equal to 1 divided by 5 into 10 power 3. So this is equal to 5 into milliseconds. Okay. So original signal, the time interval between each sample is 0.1 millisecond. After downsampling, the time interval is here 0.2 milliseconds. Okay. So this will follow for all the samples. So the time interval between sample 1 and sample 2 0.2 milliseconds, sample 2 and sample 3 also 0.2 milliseconds. In the same way we consider for our upsample sequence. So what about the original time interval? Here also it is considered as 10 kilohertz. So if it is 10 kilohertz, here also it is 0.1 millisecond. Now the sampling rate is increased by a factor of 2. If it is increased by a factor of 2, the frequency is Fs equal to, here I can write. So Fs equal to, it is increased by a factor of 2. So we are getting 20 kilohertz. If it is 20 kilohertz, what about Ts? 1 divided by 20 into 10 power 3. So this is equal to 0.05 milliseconds. Okay. So this 0.05 milliseconds is, so between 0th sample and first sample we have 0.05 milliseconds. So between first sample and second sample we have 0.05 milliseconds. So now we consider our original signal. So here I have first sample, here I have second sample. So this sample occurs after a time interval of 0.1 milliseconds. You consider the downsampled sequence where the sample is occurring. Actually in the downsampling what happened? This sample is removed. This sample is removed. It is not available there. Okay, we consider the next sample. So next sample means at time index n equal to 2, we have a sample, its magnitude is 3 units. So this sample is occurring after a time interval of 0.2 milliseconds. We consider our downsampled sequence. So this sample is nothing but this one. Okay. So here what about the time interval for this sample? After 0.2 millisecond. Here in the original signal, what is the time interval? 0.2 millisecond. So therefore after downsampling, the time interval is as it is maintained. There is no change in the time interval, but we are removing few samples. Okay. In the same way we consider this sample. This sample, so this is occurring at a time interval of, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So after a time interval of 0.4 millisecond, we are getting this sample. In the same way here you consider, so this sample and this one are same. So here the time interval is 0.4 millisecond. So this is for downsampling. In the same way we can also compare for upsampling. So in upsampling what happened? So each samples we have 0.1, 0.1. Okay, so this sample occurs after a time interval of 0.1 seconds. Here what happened? Here we have one sample, but there is no use of that sample. So the next sample occurs after 0.05. So the total time interval is 0.05 plus 0.05, here 0.1 millisecond. In the same way you consider this sample. So everything are exactly maintained the same time relationship of the original signal. So the upsampling and downsampling will either include some zeros or it will remove some samples. It will not change the time locations.